Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for September 18th. I'm coming to you from the newly formed Socialist Republic of the United States. We're going to look at the US-Japanese yen pair today. This pair I'm expecting to move over this next session between 106.06 and 103.66. Look for some resistance to come into this market around the 105.75 area. We're actually almost there, but we should see some resistance come into the market around that point. Now we do have look for support around the 104.60 level. And this pair is pretty much just moving sideways. The bias is still to the downside, but it's definitely, as you can tell, moving sideways. Now looking at the Euro USD pair, this pair I expect to move between 145.76 on the very high side and on the low side 142.35. As you can see, the market moved much higher and pulled back prior to the close. Did close up for today, but this pair is pretty much just moving sideways. The bias is sideways at this point as well. If you notice, we did meet our high. The market did push higher and fill that from the open to the previous day's high that we had talked about, that percentage trade that hits around 75% for this particular pair. It did fulfill that. Now, as far as support and resistance, I'm looking for support around the same level, and resistance we should see some if the market pushes higher around the 1.4400 level. Now, looking at the pound today created a doji bar. It closed up, but just barely. Market's moving higher at this point, and the bias is to the upside, although slow to the upside. I'm looking for this next session to be between 1.8310 and on the lower side 1.8037. As far as support and resistance goes, look for some support to come in the market a little bit above here at 180.50. And as far as resistance goes, look for resistance to come in at 1.8275. Now switching over to the Swiss. Back to the pound real quick. This pair also hit its high from the previous bar, so we were successful on both those as far as it moving to the high. And this one we also talked about moving to its low from the open, which it did. This pair I'm looking for it to be somewhere between 1.1142 and on the lower side 1.0868. Now look for some support to come in the market around 110, and on the higher side, on the resistance side, look for resistance to come into the market around 1.1100, which is just a little bit right about here. We should see some resistance come into the market at that point. Now looking at the news announcements, yesterday we had the Swiss had their trade balance released, and it was better than expected at 1.43 billion. And we also had the pound releasing their retail sales for August, and it was much better than expected, both on the month of August and year to date. Year to date, it came out at 3.3%. Up from 2%, and it was expected to come out at 1.6%. So it almost doubled the expectations, which is really good. The rate decision for the Swiss, it came out as expected at 2.75%. So really no big surprise there. And the U.S. Philadelphia Fed for September came out better than expected as well at 3.8%. Down overall, but better than expected. So that's always good news. Now looking ahead till tomorrow, there's really a lot of stuff coming out, but not real important news. And what I mean by that is news that actually moves the market. We have the Japanese yen has their leading index for July being released at 1 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, and there's no consensus on that particular news announcement. Other than the U.S. government giving us daily surprises, there shouldn't be too much other news being released. So until Sunday, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.